everybody on YouTube are government agents, and that the people who have died recently in the government, like Seth Rich, they're all hoaxes. He's calling everybody an actor, even though he has been acting himself. And he's claiming to be mentally ill, which I'm believing he is to a point. But if you look at his video, Day 5, The Cleansing, on Lift the Veil, which is his station on YouTube.
Okay, I'm sorry, who am I speaking with?
Okay, my name is Diane Nordstrom, and...
I see. Okay, and, who do you think you're speaking to, and how did you get this number? I'm sorry. Who are the parties involved? I'm sorry.
If you look at his videos, you can figure that out. He goes under Lift the Veil, if you don't already know that. He's also calling people pedophiles, people who've been on YouTube for years who are not pedophiles. He's calling them pedophiles so that they support pedophiles. He's calling people just about everything you can possibly imagine. And he's doing videos about how...
And so I want to try to contact the real Julianne Burke and let her know what he's doing. It seems that he's taken over. Do you have a YouTube account?
Not anymore, I don't.
Okay.
But at any rate, I'm most interested in where you found this information, because I'm going to need to go back and look. It's my name, or I should not be associated with this phone number. You should not have been able to find it.
Yeah.
Well, he may be mentally ill, but that doesn't give him the license to go around claiming that people are pedophiles or fake or somebody that they're not, or ruining a man's life. So, I'm sorry to call you, but as he is claiming to be doing this out of your garage, I think it's probably good for you to know, because I think that one person in particular is looking to sue him right now. So,
yeah, no, actually, I'm most interested in where are you, actually, I'm searching for myself now. It does look like I'm associated with the address that you're talking about, and that this number can be found online. This is actually family's number. I happen to be here at the moment, for a little bit anyway. So, yeah, I'm concerned now that they're going to start getting calls from all...
Alright, chuckleheads. So apparently there's a fresh round of idiocy going around about Thomas Schoenberger. It's the kind of retardation that we would expect to see normally out of the Q community. So maybe it's time for somebody who actually knows what they're talking about to weigh in. But get it now, folks, while it's fresh and hot, because this video will be coming down within a day, maybe less. So watch it now. Pass the link around. Send it to Grandma if you want to. I don't care. But listen up, because there's a few questions people are asking about the man right now. And if anybody had bothered to do a simple 30-second Google search, maybe a minute if they were feeling wild, or 5 minutes if they really wanted to go crazy, they could have answered a lot of these questions for themselves. So since people didn't, I'm going to do that for you. I think I can put a pretty definitive period on the question of whether or not Mr. Schoenberger actually plays the piano. That and a few other crazy claims that Lestat has made. So, what happened? Apparently, Lestat claimed that he doesn't believe that Thomas can actually play the piano because he says one day he stood over Thomas and acted like a, little bitch, basically, just whiny, angry little nasty ball of rage, and demanded that Thomas play for him. And apparently Thomas didn't, because, who would really, give in and perform, just for somebody who's acting like a little whatever. So that's what the story goes. And that's how it is. So, I don't even know if that happened. I kind of doubt it. But at any rate, so Lestat gets online and claims that he didn't think Thomas can play. Well, what do you think we're listening to here, folks? Could it be a CD? It's my travel music in the morning for my morning commute. Now, I grant you these are the baby music series, but this is what's easiest to get your hands on. Those are the most famous. The man has other CDs out there that I just haven't gotten yet, like Piano in the Dark and such. But the point is, he's been around as a musician and composer for a long, long time. In fact, let's see how long. Let's just look at this one real quick. 2002. Look at that. Lestat. Do you really mean to claim that he's been keeping up a charade of, being a composer and pianist for almost 20 years now? The fuck? Seriously? I assume you know how to use Google. I mean, I know Mexicans have an average IQ of 90, but that's a really retarded claim to make even for a Mexican. So, frankly, I think Lestat here didn't make a claim that Lestat, that Thomas can't play. I don't think he made that claim in good faith. I think that Lestat, the person who says that evil is his greatest strength and embraces the dark side, and yes, let's be honest, his occult practices really, really are Satanism. That's a topic for another day. But a guy who claims he's evil and makes a ridiculous ass claim like Thomas can't play, I don't think that's an honest mistake. I think he was trying to hit low where it would hurt most with the thing the man cares about the most, his music. So, when a whiny little Mexican vampire, decides to lie like that, people, can you believe another word that comes out of his mouth? No. No, you can't. That is the dumbest thing. I mean, he just threw everything out there. All kinds of dirty laundry, that probably isn't even true. Emails that may or may not be fabricated. Who the fuck knows? But they're certainly taken out of context, even if any of them are real. And oh yeah, those threats. I'm so scared of Thomas Schoenberger. Oh my god, he threatened me. You know what? A couple of guys talking behind the scenes, just kind of shit-talking and roughing each other up a little bit. You know what? Come on now. That's pretty tame shit. I mean, we know you're a little bitch, but honestly, frankly, I'm not impressed. It's a whole lot of whining from a little bitch. So, back to Lestat's other claims. Thomas doesn't speak 13 languages? Well, I don't know how many languages he speaks, but you don't think he speaks a bunch of languages? Just because he doesn't speak Spanish? Oh my god. Who wants to speak a third world shithole language? There's no reason in the world, unless you actually live in Mexico or Spain, to speak that, to want to speak that. Why not speak something a little bit more cultured? So, you can see what languages Thomas does speak if you spend any time at all on his YouTube channel. In the comment section, just about every other video, you're going to see the guy talking to people in his comments in fluent German and Italian. I think I've seen French. He obviously uses Latin a lot. If any of you YouTube researchers and geniuses do a Google search, then you're probably going to find plenty of biographical info on the guy out there, frankly. So, he probably speaks Danish, actually, if you look at his bios, as a result of Danish family. So, and then he most likely speaks some of the Middle Eastern languages, since his music has taken him around the world, and apparently spent a lot of time in the Middle East, certainly a lot of time in Germany and Italy, and the Middle East seems to figure pretty prominently too, which probably ties into some of the other rumors about him. So, let's see. I'm going to leave aside pulling up any of his biographical information because he is kind of a private guy. And I don't actually expect that any of you will actually go looking for it, but, you know, that's on you to do. Go do your homework. So, he's not just a YouTube phenomenon. He didn't just make baby CDs. I mean, he's gotten attention for a lot of things. But to find what's in the internet about him, most of it is actually pretty insignificant compared to, you know, what actually would appear on the man's resume. I'll show you what I could find just with a really cursory Google search. Here he is featured in Billboard magazine from September 13th, 2003, the baby CDs. Like I said, they're the most famous. You know, here's another website, magazine, whatever, Indie Band Giro, talking about him. He seemed to have had a breakout year in 2013 with the YouTube channel. So, here's something called Jamsphere, which has a magazine and used to be one of the biggest websites for indie music online. They decided to name him Innovative Artist of the Year in 2013. I thought this was pretty cool. It says, his astonishing creativity has not gone unnoticed, with the famed Italian museum, the Uffizi Gallery, promoting the song Annunciation in its Botticelli Hall. That's cool. For the troglodytes out there, that's one of the most famous and oldest museums in the world. In Florence, I think the Medicis actually may have built or founded that. It's pretty cool. But once again, this stuff is too insignificant to even appear in the man's bio. It's just quick Google search, cursory. See what he's up to these days. This is an old article, but apparently Hamilton College here in March of 18 had commissioned him to compose a score inspired by a theme of Beethoven that their ballet dancers could perform to. So it's just a little bit of apparently a little bit of the random things that he's done over time. Oh boy. So now that we've seen Lestat lied about the piano, he lied about the languages. What else did he lie about? I'll wager just about everything, or else distorted all of it. And who am I? Why do I care? I don't know. Frankly, I'm just a random asshole who like the cicada puzzles and then stick around for the music. So, been a fan of the guy's music for a couple of years. Hang out in the comment sections. You know, hate to see him getting dogpiled with complete sheer idiocy. And it all stems, all of it, from two people. Defango the liar and Lestat, the baby liar. So, you know, there's plenty of other YouTube fan channels that have picked up the torch with their ridiculous claims. But really it comes down to a couple of narcissistic, insecure assholes. And in case anybody still wants to believe that, you know, the piano playing is a charade, you know, I don't even know. There's no hope for you. I will tell you a secret, though. I have actually heard it live, even though I never doubted. So, there's not much else to say on this topic. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. I'm done with this shit show. Y'all are going to carry on, regardless of what anybody says, I'm sure.